Okay, here we are on page 40. So they give us an equation. A product of two factors is equal to x, y plus 4. And the factors are x plus 2 and y plus 2. And what shape do we end up with in the first part? Over here, what shape do we have? A rectangle, which is made up of smaller rectangles, okay? And over here, we have a rectangle still or not really?
No.
We do not. We have lost part of it, okay? So I'm going to take a poll. I'm going to see, do you and your partner think it's always true, sometimes true, or never true? So decide which one of you is going to raise the hand.
Okay.
Because I want an accurate count here. You guys are so funny. Oh my gosh. Do you want to raise your hand? Okay. Who thinks it is always true? Raise your hand. Okay, so we have one group. What groups think it is sometimes true? Raise your hand. Now, wait a minute. You got two hands. I can only take one per group. Okay. Hello? Shh. So, two groups think it is sometimes true. And how many groups think it is never true? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many groups do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 7, 8, 9, 10. One group didn't vote. Way to go.
Jamar.
Now, I think
Excuse me?
she did. I don't know. Either that or I miscounted, which is entirely possible. So, how could we figure this out? How can you back it up? Okay, Acacia, what do you think and why?
So this might be totally wrong, but so
I love your confidence. This might be totally wrong.
parity is what makes it sound stupid.
Shh, no.
You multiply, like you do the distributing the x plus 2 and y plus 2, and then you end up getting x, y, 2x, 2y, and 4. And even if you combine the terms, you're never going to get x, y plus 4.
Okay, do you guys understand what she is saying?
Yeah. She's telling the truth.
She is saying that if we multiply each of these parts individually, so this is x plus 2, and if I multiply that by y plus 2, this y times x gives me an area of how much? X, y, right? This y times 2 here gives me an area of 2y. This 2 by length of x gives me an area of 2x, and this 2 by 2 gives me 4. Now, as you look at it over here, we have the xy and we have the 4. Is there anything I could substitute in for x and y so that these would have an area? What is this area if it's not there?
Ain't no area.
So what is that area?
0.
0. So what could I substitute in to show that those are an area of 0?
0.
For what?
X and Y.
Yeah. So x has to be equal to 0 and y has to be equal to 0. So is that always true? Is it always going to always be true for any value of x and y? No. Is it never going to be true?
Yes.
No, because it's true sometimes when x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. Okay?
Yeah. Your group?
Okay. Any questions about that? So you need to look at these visually and sometimes be able to say, if I multiply this and, this comes up missing, that has to be a 0. How do I get zeros there? Well, it happens when x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. Okay? So looking at number 3, an identity is an blank, and is kind of a key word there, that is blank true. An identity. Does anybody have an idea about what words need to go in there?
0.
No.
Like I have 0 ideas.
Oh, okay.
And identity is.
Well, because this starts with "and," what do we know about the first letter here?
It's
Vowel.
It's a what?
A-E-I-O.
It's not an A
It's
necessarily.
just
It's a vowel.
I said that.
A-E-I-O-U, sometimes.
Sometimes Y, yes. So what are we talking about in this chapter? Equation. So an identity is an equation.
That is sometimes true.
Not if it's an identity.
Is.
That is what? No, not never.
Oh,
Always.
we got there.
There's only 3 guesses, right? So an identity is an equation that is always true. Always true. So is this an identity up here? No, because that's sometimes true. It's only true when x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. Okay. Well, shoot, I guess that's all I have up here. All right, so it says, working with your partner, decide if the equations on the card, should be 14 different equations. So open up those cards, check, see if you have 14. Decide if what is on the equation is sometimes true, never true, or always true. Okay? And because we are, let's see, where's my cheat sheet? I would love for you to put them in a certain order. Let me find that order. Because that way I can check them a lot quicker. All right, so in the first column, I want always true. Always true. So you're going to make 3 columns, okay? A marker? Yeah. So always true is going to be the first column. And then sometimes in the middle. And then at the very end is going to be never. Always, sometimes, never. No, you don't really need to. Just put them in the columns. So you and your partner are going to discuss for the rest of this class period and possibly in tomorrow why, or trying to figure out why they are, if that equation is always, sometimes, or never true. And how did you come up with that? Okay? All right.